Start it! Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stacey Gavadis, and I am laughing hysterically because we're a little bit technically challenged here. This is the first time in the Faculty of Social Sciences we've actually run one of these Google Hangouts. So you're going to bear with us. We've got some question area for you to ask questions up the side. Type in your questions. We'll do our best to answer it. And here in the room today, we have Kelli Cale, our fabulous first-year academic advisor. I'm pointing off camera here because she is off-camera woman of mystery. She is here to answer some of the more technical questions. And Chantel Warnick, the MSSS VP Academic. Now, Chantel, can you please explain to us what the heck the MSSS is and why this is important?
So the MSSS is the McMaster Social Sciences Society, and the main goal of the MSSS is to enhance undergraduate student experience, specifically social science students here at McMaster. This fall, you can expect to see a bunch of people from the MSSS dressed in these blue suits throughout Welcome Week, and we're here to answer any concerns that you may have or any questions, as well as get you welcomed into the McMaster community.
Yeah. Welcome Week, just a pro tip for everyone. Go to it. Don't skip it. It is a fabulous week. We do a lot of stuff to help you meet people, help orient you on campus. There's lots of services, but mostly it is just a bunch of fun, and you will meet a ton of people who, yeah, most likely you are going to know them for 4 years, and it's going to be a great 4 years, guys. Okay, so here we go. Here we start. We are at, I can see we're starting to pick up more viewers as we go along. We are the part of the Faculty of Social Sciences, and we are here to help with choosing your courses for first year. Now, this info session, we're not going to necessarily get into like the really nitty gritty of exactly what is required for all 12 programs because it'll bore you to death. And all this information, actually, it is there for you all in our first year experience guide. We're here to kind of help you find the resources you need. And to start with, the first year experience guide. Everything in there is all laid out for you step by step by step by step. Now, first year experience guide, where are some of the places we would find this fabulous document that I spent a lot of time making for you? Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I've seen it on the McMaster Social Sciences class of 2020. It should be pinned towards the top, so you can even search for it in the search bar, but it should be there. I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah, it is. I've posted it on the homepage of the Faculty of Social Sciences website. Where else have I put that? It's right on the Google Plus page. You can find it right when we're finished this presentation. And you know what? My favorite, and what is going to be a favorite for you for the next 4 years of your life, is the phrase, Google it. Do a search. Some of this stuff, we're not going to be able to, there's thousands of you, there's 30,000 people on campus, and most of you have a lot of the same questions. So it's going to be up to you to start to learn to where to look for these resources. If it is a social sciences specific resource, you are going to go to the Facebook page, you're going to go to the social sciences website. If it is an overarching university type of thing that you're looking for, you're going to go to the McMaster University website and start a search there. There's lots of different departments. Like I said, we've got 30,000 people on campus, and there's hundreds of departments. So you got to start to learn all the tips and tricks of where to find the stuff you need. Okay, so again, we'll start at the beginning. Who out there knows what program they're in? Can I hear anyone? No? Trick question. When you signed up on the UAC, you would have specified an area of interest. Now, you would have said, I am an economics student. Chantel, your social word?
Gerontology.
Gerontology. Oh, I forgot. You would have signed up. You would have specified an area of interest. Now, reality is, you're actually Social Sciences 1. we're all social sciences 1 when we start out. You start out in your first year program, we give you this opportunity, and it's a great opportunity. You get to pick and choose your courses, and you get to figure out what you're interested in. But the trick, and it's not a trick, is that you've got to be thinking a little bit ahead to what you want to do. You have to be looking at your required courses. Now, the biggest question, the number 1 question we actually get is, how do I figure out what are my required courses? Where would I look for those?
I just do a quick Google search.
And a Google search would probably take you to 1 or 2 places. It's going to take you to the undergrad calendar. The undergrad calendar is actually put out by the Office of the Registrar. And that has everything. It has all of the programs and all of the courses for every single faculty. So now someone who's interested in taking a combined major in humanities and social sciences, let's say, undergrad calendar is an important place to go, because my first year experience guide for Faculty of Social Sciences has only social sciences stuff in it. So for most of us, you're good. Your starting point, again, is that first year experience guide. The FYI, for your information, first year information guide. All of the programs are listed. All of the prerequisites are listed. So when someone types me a message and says, what math courses do I need? I can answer that really quickly. Go to the first year information guide, and every single program has its prerequisites listed. Very, very important. So where are you going to go? First year experience guide. Yeah. Okay. Again, you're going to be applying for your, you start in Social Sciences 1. You're going to be applying for your program at the end of your first year. Maybe it's April, I think. We put on a first year fair. We help guide you through this process. But you do have to start getting yourself set up for that. And a pro tip that I have for some of you, some of us aren't always exactly sure what we want to do right away, and that is okay. But a pro tip when you're picking your courses, you want to get that variety in. You want to try something new, because honestly, you never know what you're going to fall in love with. Like, did you know right from the beginning that gerontology was your thing, or?
Not really. So
Yeah.
I took a bunch of different courses just so that I didn't limit myself.
Yep, and that's kind of the way to do it. Now, pro tip is, you're probably, for most programs, you're going to need 2 courses as the requirements to move to the next. They're going to be a specific 2 courses, but you're going to need 2 courses. So when you're building that calendar, if you're looking at like your course schedule, if you're looking at it and you see 12 courses, each from an individual program, yeah, you might be getting yourself into a little bit of a jam there. That means you probably don't have the requirements to apply for your program in April. What you want to do is make sure you've got those 2 requirements for the program you're interested in. And you probably even want to think about making sure you've got the requirements so that you're eligible to apply for 2 separate programs. Because again, this is early in the game, guys, and we're not necessarily expecting you today to tell me what you want to be when you grow up. We're not expecting you to pick your major today. It's big stuff, and it takes some time, so don't stress about it. It's actually, this is all part of the process, and it's easier than you think. One of the things that actually we really do find is it is easier than you think. Like, often you're going to have first year students and everyone is freaking out because it's freaky. It's a brand new system. You've never done this before, and you're going to feel uncomfortable. But when you get to a point when you're looking at stuff and you're like, dude, is that it? That's probably it. It's not complex. It's not, we're not trying to trick you. All the instructions are right there for you. When you're looking at it going, it's too simple, It's that simple. How did you find like first year? Do you remember that process of trying to like figure that out?
Courses.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy once I found what where to go, like what websites to go to, where to find the course list. I don't remember having the first year guide, and I feel like that would have made my life a lot easier. But once you just start reading a little bit, you get the hang of it.
Yeah, and that's the trick. Start reading. There's not always going to be opportunity for someone there to hold your hand through the entire process. What we've done is given you the instructions so that you are able to go through this process on your own. And if you read those instructions, you will have the confidence to do this. We are there to help by all means, and we do want your questions and love your questions. But seriously, we're starting something new here. We're starting a university, and you do have to read those instructions on your own. And there's going to be some stuff that you gotta do the reading. I'm sure you're used to that, though. Your mom and dad are gonna make you read all that stuff and go through that guide, and you're gonna be okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. So, what else do I want to tell you on my list of things? The trick. There is one trick to the undergrad calendar. This so screwed me up the first time I looked at it. Don't go to that calendar and just like jump off to the left and start searching in that box. And nothing will come up. You have to go to the top right and choose on the drop down the year that you're in. You know, that course like year 2016, 2017. Do that first and then look at your courses. It just, trust me, it seems so simple, but it's not always apparent. Anyway, that's my other pro tip. So now actually we are going to start with some questions. So if anyone out there wants to start typing in some questions, that's awesome. We will read them out as we go. But we also asked for some pre-canned questions to some people to pre-submit some questions, and I have them written down here. Okay, and now you didn't even know I was going to do this here, but okay.
Oh no.
Chantel,
Yes.
how would you deal with timetable conflicts?
So there is a website called the Timetable Generator. And if you go to that website, you can click that you're from McMaster and what program and department you're in, and you can kind of lay out like a sample timetable for if you've picked courses already and just you know what you want to get into. And it'll lay out all the time slots that you pick, and if there's a course that overlaps, it'll tell you that there's a conflict. And if there's a conflict, unfortunately, things aren't always, you don't always get what you want, so you're going to have to pick another time if it's offered, even if it's not your most ideal time, or you might even have to pick another course like an elective that might go better with your schedule.
Yep. The Office of the Registrar works really hard to actually set out the timetables so that you're not going to get a conflict on required courses that you need. Like they're never going to put like the 2 social work courses that are required in the same time slot. It's just not going to happen. But you know what? There's a conflict. You need to explore a different option. If you just try to choose something else, choose another section, choose something, and you work it and you work it and you work it and you figure it out. That's how we deal with conflicts. All right. Okay. All right. Question number 2. What major should I choose if I want to do something with policing? That's a good question. We actually, this year, we have a brand new program. It's not a new program, it's a new specialization within poli-science, political science, that is, it's a law, what is it called? It's law and justice, political science.
Political.
Oh no, it is within the poli-sci. It's within poli-sci. There is a law and justice and policy section of that. So poli-sci is something that a lot of people who want that are into, and that comes at policing from more of a policy type of standpoint. Here we go. Public law and judicial studies. Doesn't that sound really like law, like police-ish? Yeah, it's pretty good. And another one actually is the, and there's actually, they also have a minor in that. And for a lot of people, a minor is a great option. It just kind of supports what they're, the major that they're doing. The next major that is a really, really good fit for that is the social psychology. Social psychology is an interesting program because it's interdisciplinary. So you won't, when you search for a social psychology course, there's not that many that are listed as social psychology. They grab from everywhere. It's a little bit of it's a little bit of the psychology P&B courses. There's a number of places, disciplines that it grabs from. And a lot of those courses in there are about social deviance, I'm trying to even think of the courses. I have them actually all listed on that Facebook group, McMaster Social Sciences Class of 2020 Facebook group. If you are already not a member, that is a hot place to be, my friends. I do have that all listed, and if you search that Facebook group for the word law, that'll bring you up a list of some kind of forensic type of psychology type of things that are really interesting within that social psychology section. Okay, when will I be able to get my student email? It says I'm not authorized yet. Who would I call? Who would I call? Office of the Registrar.
I'm so not familiar with this. This is so long ago.
Chantal's been set up for a long time. That's true. And actually, McMaster has upgraded their systems over the last couple of years. So some of the stuff, like when Chantal was in first year, just doesn't. We have a new system now. We've upgraded it. It's a little bit better. Mosaic is new for us, and it's working great, and it's making it a little easier for us to figure out our courses and stuff like that. But email, again, that's part of the Office of the Registrar. Anything that's your data, your records, things like that, generally it's going to be Office of the Registrar. They run Mosaic. They run the calendar. Important to know them. They're the admissions officers. Okay, next question. What should we choose? We had a lot of questions here. I want to transfer to the business school in second year. How do I choose my courses? One of the important things to know is that, yeah, you can transfer. You must have known a ton of people that have transferred in, have transferred out. It's not a problem. You can absolutely do that. But we, being the Faculty of Social Sciences, are not going to be the experts on the business courses. We are the experts on the social sciences courses. So the School of Business has a fantastic little section of their website, and again, Google it. Yeah, we're gonna Google it. Google transferring into business on the business website, and that'll give you all the requirements they need. Generally, as a rule of thumb, when you want to go into a different faculty, you're gonna go to that faculty to ask the questions about what you need. Because again, they're the experts on their own programs. They're the ones who are making the final decision about whether you can go over there or not. We are, our academic advisors, we are always happy to help. But you know what, you want into science? Talk to the science people. They know their programs intimately. Now, there's a word of warning. Just because I had actually this nursing a while ago, I had a student asking me like how they can start in social sciences and get to nursing. That's competitive, dude. That is like they leave 10 spots open for transfer students a year. So you may not want to put all of your eggs in one basket, and when you're choosing your courses, you still might want to think about getting the requirements to move into social sciences level 2 because there's not, just because you asked to transfer does not mean you're eligible to transfer. You can, but it depends if you have all the requirements. And something like nursing, dude, you're almost starting back off in level year 1 because there's like tests you have to write and there's processes, and that's very important to talk to that faculty about. Very important. Okay, so another question. Do we have any questions coming up on the board yet? No, come on, dude, like I can see you. I can see you're there. Ask me some questions. Do it. Come on, type. Someone. Just anything. No. Okay. Fine. We will continue on the vein we're continuing on. Let's choose a question. Can you do a double major with a minor? Can you? Absolutely. Lots of people do double majors. Lots of people do double majors with minors. Lots of people do double majors that are like 2 soc sci. Maybe one's a humanities, one's a soc sci. You can get a minor, an interdisciplinary minor. There's some like really cool ones. You can find them in the undergraduate calendar. There's lots of ways to do it, and you can really build your program to be something kind of specific to yourself. The trick, though, is it can get a little bit tight with not having enough requirement, or sorry, what do you call those? Electives. Not having enough electives to fulfill that minor. So often when you get into, it's like zero problem really for a major and a minor. You've got enough space. But when you're doing a double major and a minor, you may find that you have to take like 1 or 2 extra courses on top of like the minimum that you need to graduate. And you'd probably take them like a little bit later on in 4th year. You'll pick them up in the summer. There's a question. We can't read it. Here we go. Read the question. Can I take 4 courses instead of 5 per semester? If so, will it affect my admission to level 2? Yes, you can take 4 courses instead of 5. 5 is a full course load. 5 is a full course load, which will give you 15 units. You do 15 units one semester, 15 units second semester. That gives you 30 units in total. That keeps you on track for graduating within that 4-year period. Now you can take 4. Absolutely no problem. I myself am a big fan of taking the 4 because it gives you just a little more breathing room. You can actually progress to level 2 with only 24 units in almost every single soc sci program except social work. Social work, it is required that you have the 30 units. So yeah, a lot of people choose to take 4 and then take a summer course. Have you ever taken a summer course?
I've never taken a summer course, but a lot of my friends have, and some people prefer to take 4 courses just because it might be easier load, but they still want to graduate on time in the 4 years, so that a lot of people will take summer school every summer just so that they can graduate on time.
Yeah, that's the way I did it. I always took a summer school because I just preferred giving myself the breathing room, and campus it's awesome in the summer. It's just laid back and chill, and it suited me. A lot of my friends did the full, like, right to the letter exactly what you would want to do. I tend to do things a little meandering myself.
The only thing you have to keep in mind is that not every course is offered in the summer. There are courses that are only offered during the regular school year, so you have to look into that. I know online somewhere it says what courses are offered in the summers as well.
Yeah. The departments generally have like a list of what they have, what they're going to be offering in the summer, and it'll be in the undergrad calendar as well. Okay. Let's see, more questions.
If I want to switch faculty, should I take courses to help me transfer or still take the required first-year courses? I would say both.
Yeah, like that's exactly. I was like, both actually. Because again, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You can absolutely switch faculties. It's allowed. Everybody does it. There's a lot of back and forth. but it's not a guaranteed. Like, you have to have the requirements to get into that new program. So you're going to want to keep your SocSci courses and make sure you can apply to one of our SocSci programs because you're in SocSci. But you'll probably want to talk to one of the faculty that you're interested in and see what the requirements are for switching. Again, each of the faculty websites has an area on it. If you do a Google search, because we love Google searches, if you do a Google search, that'll tell you what you need. That'll direct you to the place. And you can always call the academic advising office for that faculty you're interested in going to. Excellent. Ooh, done. Next question. I love how we have to come up to read. It's like we never thought of that. Like, oh, it's so far away. I don't have my glasses on.
So Political Science 1AA3 has a lecture option available that indicates Monday and Thursdays from 9:30 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. and Tuesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 11:20 a.m. all in the same box. Does this mean I would have a lecture all these 3 days? I know there is a required 2-hour, but this is 3. If it includes that in the same box, that means you'll have to attend all 3 of those for that lecture.
Okay, excellent. All right, so next question. Next question comes to us from our sheet of questions that were asked in advance. Ta-da-da! What should we answer?
Well, I think this one is a good one.
This is a great question, actually. Hey, I was wondering if anyone can tell me what the difference is between Social Work 1A06A and Social Work 1A06B. I was wondering if Sociology 1A06 and
Social Work
1A06 are mandatory for me to take. Okay, on the McMaster website, it says I can pick either one. So to me, that says you're interested in social work.
and sociology.
And sociology, but I'm gonna take one of them. Okay.
I know I took both of the courses in first year. In my first year.
Did you? Okay.
So I think what social work 1A06A and social work 1A06B means is that, so social work is a full year course. But you have to select Social Work 1A06A for the first semester and then Social Work 1A06B for the second semester. Because it's separated into 2 different courses, but they give you a full 6 units. Yeah.
Actually, what happens when you sign up for a full year course like that, and we know it's a full year course because it has 6 units, one kind of class is 3 units. The next semester you're taking 3 more units. If it says 6 units, you're gonna automatically be signed up for the second half of it. So do not worry. You sign up for Social Work 1A06. You're already in Social Work 1A06B. So important to know, if you did for some reason, and I don't know why, because I hear it's actually a kick-butt course, if you decided that you did not want to continue on and do the second half, you can drop it later, but when you sign up, you're in both. Okay. Now, if it says, wondering if Sociology 1A06 and Social Work 1A06 are mandatory for me to take, on the McMaster website, it says I could pick either one. Trust the website. Like, if it says, dude, like, you can pick either one, like, if we mean it, they mean it, you can pick either one. You don't have to take both. Those are actually good. Probably it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to take both. Because again, if you take both of those, then you're going to be eligible for both, to apply to both programs when the time comes in April, when we look at applying to level 2 and choosing our major. So it's not a bad idea. You don't have to, because the website says you don't have to.
If you're interested in both programs, applying for second year, you should take both.
Yeah.
Just so that you're not limited.
Exactly, because again, there are some programs that are a little more competitive to get into. P&B, especially, very competitive to get into. So you've got to have good marks. There's limited spaces. So you want to maybe keep that door open to a second option just in case. I'm sure
social work.
Yeah, same with social work. Yeah.
Social work is pretty competitive. So if you're also interested in sociology, I definitely recommend that you take those courses as well.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt to be prepared. Boy Scouts. Hi, if I am taking, okay, here's my question.
Hi, if I'm taking Introductory Microeconomics, which is a 3-unit course in the fall term, do I need to take it again in the winter term? No.
No, you take it once.
But if it's offered both terms, you can choose what term. Yeah, you can choose what term you want to take it in, either in the fall or in the winter.
I believe it's macroeconomics, really, is you want to take microeconomics, and macroeconomics are the requirements for econ. But again, I would double check that.
Offered either semester.
Yeah.
I believe, so you can choose which one you want and in which semester.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. They are both offered. Anyway, again, there's a good opportunity to remind you that your first year information guide has that laid out, what you need to take. Your requirements, first year information guide.
You can tell them it looks like that.
And it looks like this. Here we go. Can you see? Can you see? There we go. Ta-da. Thank you to the lovely Kelly on the side. Excellent. Beautiful. Okay. Next question.
If I want to go into global health, what classes do I have to take? Is it recommended to take biology or chemistry? Global health.
Do you want me to take that?
Please. We need the expert of Kelli Cale first year.
Okay. So there is a minor offered in globalization. Global health as a program specifically doesn't actually exist at the undergraduate level. But you may be interested in taking courses in, for example, health and aging. That may provide you with a good sort of foundation for that type of subject. And again, if you're if you're enrolled in an honors program, you do have the option of completing a minor. So you may want to look at the requirements for the minor in globalization, which is listed in the undergraduate calendar under interdisciplinary minors and thematic areas.
Yay! Again, undergrad calendar, an important resource for you to become familiar with. You'll use it for 4 years. So you know what? Do it now, do the hard work now, figure that out. Because we can't list everything in our little guidebooks and things like that, because there are so many things with McMaster. Everything is listed in the undergrad calendar.
And we should probably just sort of address the second part of the question. Is it recommended to take biology or chemistry? It's important to, I think, plan for those courses. If you're thinking about a potential career in medicine, which it sounds like maybe you're going in that direction. So taking some undergraduate science courses is definitely, I would say, recommended if that's your sort of career path. However, you do have to pay close attention to the prerequisites for level 1 science courses. And again, that information can be found in the undergraduate calendar. But basically, if you're interested in taking the level 1 courses in biology and chemistry, there are grade 12 VU prerequisites that have to be met. So specifically for the biology level 1 courses, you do have to have credit in biology, grade 12 VU biology. And for chemistry, you have to have credit in grade 12 VU chemistry, and you also have to have a grade of at least 80% in that course. If you don't have a grade of 80% in that course, then you have the option of waiting until level 2 to take it, or you can take the sort of entry-level chemistry course, which is Chemistry 1R as in Robert 03. And that will help you to get the requirements you need to take the level 1 courses.
Okay.
In science.
Awesome. Okay. Now, next question. For level 1, we choose classes to pursue for the, it's been a long day, guys. For level 1, we choose classes to pursue, and for level 2, I want to become a social worker and get my bachelor's in social work, and I'm unsure what classes I should be taking in level 1. Okay, we start. The first bit of this question goes to, again, the first year information guide. Now this becomes a complex question because this particular student was a student at Mohawk College and graduated from the social social work program there, and asked, does this make a difference when choosing my schedule? Yes, maybe. When it comes to transferring credit from another institution, if you're coming to us from college, if you're coming to us from another university, if you're coming to us from another program, you need to actually, every person is unique, every situation is unique, and we can't give you a blanket answer for that. We need you to come in and talk to one of our academic advisors. It's really important with transfer credits that we get you sorted out, and we want to give you as much credit as we can, but every case needs to be looked at an individual basis. So don't, with those type of questions, be going on any of the discussion boards. You can get a feel for what may happen on a discussion board, like the Facebook group, but to really know, you want to talk to an advisor. Everybody is an individual in that way.
Can I just add to that
Yeah.
as well? Students who are coming from a College of Applied Arts and Technology and have completed the social service worker diploma, especially students coming from Mohawk, we do consider completion of that particular program to be equivalent to Social Work 1A06, the course. So if you are planning on applying to the Honors Bachelor of Social Work program for next year, we will consider that you already have credit in Social Work 1A6. So it won't be, you will not be required to take that course as part of your first year. You can take it if you wish, but it's not necessary, and you may wish to take Sociology 1A6 too if you wish, but not required.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, and that's 6 credits. That actually really lightens your load to, you could do four courses each semester. That'd be kind of nice. Balance it up. Okay, next question.
I intend on majoring in economics in the second year, and I have 6 units worth of electives left for the fall term in my planner. I have taken Math 1F03 and Math 1K03 already. What electives would you recommend that are interesting and relevant to my major? One course that I took, I think it was last year. I forget what it was called. It was Health Economics 2 CC3. But she wouldn't be able to take that, right?
No, and I think we're very cautious, I think, about recommending courses. Certainly, we couldn't recommend a course that would be interesting to you because, well, we don't know you, and we don't know where your interests lie. And that's really the beautiful thing about an arts degree or a social sciences degree in particular, is that that's what level 1 is for, just to really start to take courses from other faculties, if you wish, particularly the Faculty of Humanities. They have a huge number of level 1 courses that may be very interesting to you. Certainly, if you're thinking ahead and maybe hoping to acquire units towards maybe doing a minor in, say, business, you may want to consider some of the level 1 commerce courses as well. And again, you can find those in the undergraduate calendar, and they'll be listed under the commerce section in the undergraduate calendar under minors. And there is a general business minor, and there's also other more limited minors that are available as well, particularly in finance and accounting. So really the take-home message is choose electives that are interesting to you, and really take the time to sit down and go through the undergraduate calendar, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find at least 2 courses that will fit nicely into your schedule in term 1.
Yep. One thing I'd like to even add to that is you don't always know right at the beginning how things fit together. There's a diversity minor, which is offered by religious studies, which to my mind, something like that actually is a great pairing with a business because it's so opposite. Because that could be something that's really interesting to you. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But it's a really good skill to have when you're going out into the world of business. We tend to, just by nature of everyone, we like micro focus on like, I'm going to be an economics student. And so everything's got to be economics, economics, economics. But part of the beauty of the social sciences is the way everything's interconnected and the way people work. It's understanding how people work, how groups work. Sociology, great electives in there. You can take almost anything. You have to be interested in it to really make it work for you.
A piece of advice I got in first year, which I think is the most amazing thing, and I recommend it to first year students, is that you should take things that are kind of out of your area of interest. Just because you're going to be focused on that program a lot in the future, you may as well just kind of let yourself learn another area of interest that you may have. Like I know in first year that I was really interested in gerontology and health studies, but I had a lot of other electives that I could have taken. So a representative during Welcome Week told me to take something out of my comfort zone, and I ended up taking political science, and I ended up loving it. So I would definitely say to take electives that are out of your area of interest, because it'll make things a lot easier for you in the first year, I'd say.
It a good course actually to take, if you're really not even sure what you're interested in, is 1TO3, Social Sciences 1TO3. It's called Life, the University, and a bit of everything. And it really is that jackpot of a little bit of everything. You get an overview of all 12 of the disciplines, which is kind of cool because like who out there can tell me exactly like what labor studies is all about? You probably didn't do a labor studies course in high school. You may not have done a lot of anthropology, and you don't know what you like until you try it. That course is not only it's that little smorgasbord of all of the disciplines, it's also a bit about transitioning to university, kind of giving you those skills because it's a different world. Just like in high school, like you may have friends that go to a different high school and they do things slightly differently there. We do things slightly differently here. You can't expect it to be exactly the same, so it's a good transition course. It's probably a good time also to mention there's another first year, we call them foundation courses, that really interesting for you to think about, and that's the inquiry course. That is 1 SS3, Social Sciences 1 SS3. That inquiry course, to my mind, is like a gift. It is a gift to you. It gives you some of the tips and tricks, and I'd probably get in a little bit of trouble for calling methods of learning tips and tricks, but it teaches you. You go over things like how to use the university library. You go over how to ask the proper questions that to really dig into a subject matter. That course will set you up for success. And I can't recommend it enough.
I definitely recommend taking that course. I took that in my first year, and I'm now in fourth year, and even up until now, it really helped me. It really teaches you how to research and how to write very well. I definitely recommend that because it helped me with writing essays from first year to fourth year. And it was a great course to take. I definitely recommend taking that.
Because you got to keep in mind too, like the writing of essays, it's a different thing. You write different for science than you write for social sciences, then you write a humanities essay. So this really like teaches you, like they would tell you like what they're looking for, and give you those skills. It'll serve you well. Trust me. Trust Chantel, she's taken the course.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
All right. All right, next question.
The lecture timings for a certain subject that I've taken is before the timings for my tutorial. Basically, C01 is scheduled before T01 of the same subject. Is that going to be a problem? Not at all. Since it's set up in a different time slot, they've done that on purpose. I know a lot of courses that I took in first year, a lot of tutorials would take before the lecture or after the lecture. I know specifically the social work program, my lecture was before my tutorial, and it's set up in that way because it kind of, you go straight from lecture to your tutorial and can kind of discuss what's going on in that lecture before. So you can definitely take both. That won't be a problem at all.
Actually, that might even work nicely for some things because you kind of have a flow going. Okay.
For classes like grade 12 Calculus U, what are prereqs for some things? What does the U mean? So U means university. Those are the university level.
Yeah. So there we're looking for, if you're thinking about the requirements for an economics program or a program in psychology, neuroscience, and behavior, we're looking for calculus and vectors. So we're looking for grade 12 U, calculus and vectors. If you don't have grade 12 U, calculus and vectors, you can take Math 1 F03, F as in Frank, 03, if you have grade 12 functions. And then you can take the required one MO3. And now that's just for psychology. If you're interested in economics, grade 12 U, calculus and vectors is sufficient to fulfill the requirements for the economics program. But for psychology, neuroscience, and behavior, you do actually have to have credit in Math 1 MO3 or 1 LS3. So again, the grade 12 Calculus U course that we're looking for is calculus and vectors.
Cool. All right, moving it right along. Here we go.
When choosing a certain lecture for your timetable, what does it mean when you choose between CO1 and CO2? So if it offers CO1 and CO2, that means they're offering 2 different lecture time slots, and you would choose whichever one would fit into your schedule better. Yeah, so it just means that they're different core lectures. So you wouldn't be taking both; you'd be choosing between the 2, and it's the same lecture, but it's just at a it's just offered at a different time slot. When I start picking my courses, it says 18 credits required and 12 electives. Does that mean that I need 18 to get into second year?
No, 30 units, as Stacy mentioned earlier, would be considered a full course load. But as we discussed, some students find it appropriate to reduce their course load to take fewer units. Now, we will admit students to a level 2 program with the exception of social work, which requires the completion of the full 30 units, but we will admit to level 2 programs with 24 units complete. Okay, so 18 would not be enough units to allow you to be admitted into a level 2 program for the following year.
But again, if you only take the 24 units for the year, somewhere along the way, you're going to have to pick up some extra courses. So that means a bit in the summer, somewhere along the way, which isn't a bad thing. But you need to have all of those in the end to graduate. Okay, so yeah, 15. You want to balance it out. It is recommended that you keep your course load balanced and not, it's different for every person. You don't want to overload yourself so that you don't do well, but you do want to try to keep up so that you get out of here in a timely fashion. We love you, but do you want to be here for 7 years? I don't know. I took 7 years. I thought university was brilliant. I never wanted to leave. And look at me now. I work here. I never want to leave. It's pretty good. Anyway, again, it's up to the individual.
That one's pretty basic. Okay. So this question says, how do we know we have chosen enough units? So again, if you want to take a full course load, that's 30 units. And each course, it'll be listed in the box on Mosaic if it's 3 units or 6 units. So that's where you'll be able to tell, like, add up the units of the courses. And if it equals 30, then you'll be taking a full course load.
Yeah. Math. Basic math, people. Add your 3s and 6s. That'll tell you.
So the 18 just have to be from social sciences, and the other 12 can be from anywhere?
Yeah, or those 12 could be social sciences too. You could. I don't know. Theoretically, it is possible that you could take 30 social science. We are like the most interesting and fantastic faculty there. There's so much good stuff.
In my first year, I took only social science courses, but you could take, like, I'm pretty sure there's a communication studies for humanities in first year.
Yeah, they can take any level 1 humanities course and any social sciences level 1 course, and like we said, some science courses may be available to students with prerequisites, but that's what you have to pay attention to when you're choosing your courses from outside of the faculty, is the prerequisite courses that are going to be required specifically for science. There are some commerce courses available to level 1 students. But I mean, for example, you wouldn't be able to take a level 1 course in health sciences or nursing or midwifery. Yeah. So really, you're going to be narrowing your choices to SOC-Sci, humanities, and some science and business.
Okay. So for the courses like grade 12 Calculus U, what is that equivalent to in BC? Is that equivalent to pre-calculus 12 or calculus? Is grade 12 biology U equivalent to biology 12 in BC?
That is a question that you can answer on the BC Transfer Guide website. So if you go to the BC Transfer Guide and type in the course that you're taking, it will give you the equivalent course to Ontario schools, or specifically to McMaster University. And also on the Office of the Registrar will also be able to help you answer that question, or someone in admissions as well.
Okay, cool. BC Transfer Guide website. I did not know that. Good to know. Next.
Okay. Personally, I am inclined towards political science and economics. In that context, what topic would you recommend picking from the given ones in the inquiry into social sciences course? I'm not even too sure what selected topics are offered in the inquiry course.
Yeah. Again, dude, we can't tell you exactly what topic you can pick. You know what? It's up to you. Like, you're going to read that list of topics and go with your gut, man. Go with what you think is interesting. Go with what,
And really, linking the inquiry course to your, potential program isn't exactly the point of that course. The point of that course is just to take you through the process of doing academic research and writing a scholarly piece of work and doing some self-evaluation and working in groups. That's sort of the point of that course. It's not necessarily to link that course to your potential program for level 2.
Yeah. Take what looks interesting. Take what you enjoy. That course is such a wonderful opportunity to explore something a little different. And again, that's up to you.
But the point of that course is to teach you about research and writing. So that's what you'll be learning all semester, but it's linked towards whatever topic you choose. So I know I did the prison system topic, and we were learning about the prison system and linking that to our writing, but the whole point was just to learn how to write. So do whatever interests you. So the student says that that was really helpful and that the Inquiry into Social Sciences course has different topics from which you can choose. There is one called Inclusions and Exclusions. What is that topic exactly about?
You know what? I don't actually have a great answer for you on that. If you want to post that question on the MSSS, our McMaster Social Sciences Class of 2020 Facebook page, I will find that answer for you, and I will answer that. But right now, I don't know off the top of my head. It's kind of, sometimes it can get into a bit of trick with the people who ask questions, and we know tons and tons of stuff, but there's hundreds of courses, so it's going to take us a little while to find the answer.
And also, and feel free, when you're looking at the undergraduate timetable, please feel free to email instructors with questions like that, because they would be more than happy to give you the breakdown of what the course is actually about if there's some question about that.
So that course would be like, you wouldn't be able to Google the course outline for that course, because I know that they change year to year, but this is a general tip for any course that you might be interested in, but you're not too sure what exactly it's about. You can Google McMaster, for example, Sociology 1A06, and previous course outlines will come up. Not for every class, sometimes it's hard to kind of find a course outline, but generally most courses will have an outline online, like on the internet somewhere, and you can kind of look at the breakdown of what people have learned in the past.
Okay, and this is our last question of the session. Is,
I've noticed that you can choose the option to have a tutorial before the actual class. How would that work? Since from what I understand, tutorials are meant to review what you have learned. So I know in one of my courses that I took maybe last year, the year before, we kind of did, in that tutorial that was before that class, we kind of went over what was talked about in the lecture the previous week. So I know in my experiences, we've done that. Yeah.
Well, and I think tutorials are also, I mean, they're not just used to review what you've learned in the lecture. It's also just a basic forum where students can ask questions of, you know, a graduate student or a TA, you know, regarding material that, you know, they might be struggling with, or just to have other questions answered. And, you know, sometimes that's your opportunity to submit work or to review work that's been returned, especially exam reviews. If you're going to have an exam review, it usually takes place in the tutorial section. So it's not all about just reviewing what the instructor has taught you in lecture. There are other components to tutorials as well.
Yeah. Tutorials also discuss readings that were assigned for that week. So let's say that you had the lecture on Wednesdays and the tutorials right before it. On the course outline, it'll say that you have to have a certain amount of readings done that week. And then I know sometimes that you may go to that tutorial, which is before the lecture, and discuss the readings. So they'll, like, that course instructor will outline what will go on in those tutorials. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. They have it all set out.
Yeah. They won't let you get into a situation where you're missing some big piece of something like that. Not to worry. Okay, well, thank you, Chantel. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for everyone who tuned in. This has been really great. I learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot. Yeah, so write us on the Facebook page. Tell us if this was useful. Tell us if it wasn't useful. But again, McMaster Social Sciences Society Class of 2020 is our Facebook group for this year. An important website for you to go to is THE, the MSSS, which is MSSS.ca. the MSSS.com. Sign up for one of the MSSS newsletters. That'll help keep you in the loop with some of the social side of the things that are happening this year. There's tons of good stuff happening for Welcome Week. I'm kind of excited about that. I will be the crazy one running around with a camera that whole time. Chantel will be in a blue suit helping you along.
And I'll have the dog.
And Kelli, the infamous, mysterious Kelli Cale, will actually be there with Lily. Lily is our social sciences academic advising dog. Yes, you have joined the faculty that actually has a dog. Lily is actually in the academic advising office with Kelli, helping you choose your courses and such things every Wednesday. So if you drop in to us on a Wednesday, you get to meet Lily. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you in September. Bye now.